Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today's gonna be a simple video. I'm gonna be installing the tailgate dampener here on the on my Ford F-150. So this is a 2020 F-150, and I believe this is the part number from Ford. If your vehicle didn't come with the dampener for your tailgate, so it drops, slowly. I believe 2017 through 2020 is the same. Don't quote me on that. You might want to check, but you can get this kit from Ford. Amazon has it for about $76, $79, and pretty much this is what it comes with. So you have some instructions. It's pretty straightforward though. You have the actual hinge and then the dampener itself. Pretty simple. Obviously I'm gonna show you guys how I install it, so it should be pretty straightforward. I am doing this by myself, so keep in mind you have to pretty much remove the tailgate. So if you think that's a little bit harder, I guess I want to help you with that. This one I did paint it red to match. The factory hinge is red because I'm sure they painted all the parts. This comes in black, which is no big deal. You can leave it black. I went ahead and just painted, I just matched off this part and the back little arm and painted the back and the front red with the kind of spray paint. It's not 100% like match, but it's just gonna sit there, probably get all dirty, so it's pretty close enough. You are going to need a 50 T50 Torx bit, and a ratchet to drive that bit. You're also going to need 8mm socket and ratchet, or you can use a wrench, I suppose, to take these two bolts off for the tail light. And I am gonna use these. These are plastic pry bars. They're used to put window seals on, things like that, just in case I have to pry a little bit. I'm gonna try not to do that, but at least it's plastic. You don't want to do it with metal because you probably chip tail light or scratch the surface there. So other than that, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna move this stuff here. I am gonna probably just put the tailgate here, just this side down. So I'm gonna put all these parts here for now. And let's see how this goes by. You would probably want a flashlight to make things easier for you. I am gonna get underneath here. Have a piece of cardboard kind of set already. There is a harness that comes out of your tailgate. You can see it here, up there, and it goes to that connector right over here. And so I'm gonna unplug it. That's probably for the light and the backup camera that goes to the tailgate. So it's just gonna go out through that little piece there, but that way I can pull it all the way out. And they should be pretty simple. Now, you always think things will be simple until you start doing them. Let's take a look. Yep, just push this little tab here and pull it out. And as you can see, this is just gonna go out through this plastic bushing there. So that's the main thing underneath. Get that taken care of. That way you're not having to pull on it or anything like that. Next thing before I start taking the tailgate off is taking these off of here. They have these little tabs here. Guess that's another tool you need, a small screwdriver. But pretty much you're just gonna pull this tab, and then I'm gonna set you guys here on my stand because I can't do that with one hand, but I'll show you guys here on this side when I do it. You just pull on it and then push it up and pull it out. The only thing is, you know, once you pull this side, obviously the tailgate's not going to be supported by the cable, so if you let go of your tailgate, it's probably going to hit here on the bumper, so you don't want to let go of the tailgate when you don't have those on. So make sure you remember that. You have to have it about this angle so that the tailgate comes out through this little slot right here. And this is just gonna come out like pretty much any tailgate. Pretty much all the vehicles, all the trucks, even the older ones, the tailgate comes out that way. So pretty straightforward on this. Show you this bushing just sits straight, so you kind of gotta pull it out that way, but make sure you're clearing, you know, you're not gonna hit something on this side. All right, gonna go ahead and take these two screws off. And just take your time, you know, make sure you don't misplace any of the screws. Especially taking this tail light out. This particular one has the side sensors on here, so I know these are pretty expensive, so definitely want to. I'm just gonna go ahead and pull that out. Now it's gonna be a little bit tight. You'll hear like a little, you know, pop. This little metal piece, especially this one on the bottom, it's like a metal one. And then this one here, it just clips in there tightly. So just, you know, try to pull it just with your hands. I didn't pry with anything, so, and I'm just gonna go ahead and take the plug off. Same thing. Set this aside for now. Alright, so now you can see in here, the vehicle is already going to be equipped with that point there where your absorber mounts. And so all you're changing is just that hinge pretty much there. I am going to kind of keep track of where this was, hopefully put it in the same spot. That way, you know, it's... If anything, you just loosen these. You can push it probably in and out slightly. And that'll just be to align your tailgate a little bit better. And like you heard there, there's, you know, some popping and crunching. That's just the pretty much like the factory paint breaking. This truck is pretty new, doesn't have that many miles, but it's still 2020, so, you know, it's gonna be a little bit of time that everything's been sitting. And these are pretty tight. Move you guys out of the way a little bit, 'cause and just be careful with the bracket here on the back. It should be held by two tabs there, but just in case. As you can see, there was already like a spider web here. Spider trying to build a nest. There is some grease on this bushing, so I'll probably put some grease on the new one. Just so that way it probably lubricates while it moves around. I would say don't use an impact in here. main reason is you don't want to strip those bolts, because those would be really hard to get out. Second reason I wouldn't recommend an impact is if you don't have a good quality bit, the impact is probably just gonna shear it off. So I think you have a better chance of just using hand tools with this one. But you know, that's entirely up to you. I think these bolts had red Loctite on them, that's why they were so tight all the way out. I can see some residue on them. So with that, I'm probably going to put some Loctite in there. So this is the these are the bolts, and then this is the factory one. As you can see, this is plastic. That's probably why they have that, you know, all that grease. But this new one, it's metal because it's connected to here. So I am just gonna go ahead and borrow some of that grease, kind of get it to go in there. Just that way when it rotates, it's gonna push it in there a little bit better. So I did read the I read the instructions. It didn't say anything about putting grease on this one, but since that old one had it. I am going to go ahead and do that anyway. So alright, so this one, you're just gonna pretty much angle it in here to go in there. And then it's got those plastic tabs that once you push it in, it's pretty much gonna kind of hold in there for you. It's not gonna come back out. So now that I did that, I'm gonna go ahead and put the screw back on there. And I did grab a little bit of Loctite here. Now I am using the blue stuff, just in case. Usually the red stuff, you can't get it out, that's why it was so hard. Blue stuff holds pretty well, so. That would definitely help it, you know, not get loose, but for whatever reason, when I was putting the other piece on, I noticed this is the factory one, and this is the other one that I have gone first. You can see I was putting the bolts on, and I was looking that the bottom piece wasn't lining up. So, as you can see, there's a different shape. I went ahead and had to get a new one in. This one is the same shape, this bracket here. So I think they sold me one probably for an older vehicle here. In that case, this is the part number. Which it's kind of weird because interestingly, it's the exact same part number. It's the same part number, so I honestly don't know what the deal with that is. So this one I didn't have time to paint it. I'm just gonna throw it in here as it is, black. Just because I'm showing you guys how to install this on there today. I probably am going to, I did put some thread locker in there already. I am probably going to take this out at a later time and paint it. Just because personally I want it painted, so, but no big deal. I mean, like I said, you can barely kind of see it, so for sake of I'm already in the middle kind of doing this, I have to go get a different one. I'll paint it later on. So I guess if you do get one, make sure you check that before you're going to start taking everything apart. I didn't even think of that myself, so you know, I could have put the old one back on, but I just left it all apart, and well, I got that new piece. But and what I'm gonna do here is just pretty much, I can tell where the old one was by where the paint is missing. So I'm just gonna leave it in the same spot. Alright, so I lined up the paint mark. Once I get the tailgate in there, I mean, if I need to move it in or out, you know, that's simple to do. But with it being in the same location, then that should be no problem. Alright, so went ahead and got this in there. So you can see, you know, it's the same shape. You know, that's one thing to remember if you guys get one. I'm not sure if they're gonna take this back since I painted it, so, but that's, you know, that's the difference right there. One's got the band. Anyways, since this was on a different box, I'm gonna use the lift support that came with this one, which should be the same, but I certainly do not want any surprises. And so the way this is going to go on there is, you know, you're going to put this in here, just click it in, pretty straightforward, and then this one here on the back. Just line it up, and there you go. So that's it as far as that side of it. I'm gonna grab the tailgate and put it on there. Again, I'm doing this by myself, so I'll probably, you know, have to, it's gonna be a little bit harder, line it up, but this is no problem. And I had to turn that metal piece a little bit because it was facing up, so that's what I did just now. And then I'm gonna clamp that piece on there. Clamp that cable back in. Alright, so everything looks like it's lining up good, like before. I'm just gonna go ahead and put the harness here for that bushing, and then I'm gonna hook it up here underneath. So. And that's the beauty of it. So that's the main thing, you know, why you change that little strut is you only have one hand free, and you need to, you know, at the store, open your tailgate. It's gonna open slowly. Got a little bit of grease in here, so clean it out, but that is good on there. Now put your tail light back on. Don't forget to plug it in. And line up the tabs. So there's the metal, the plastic one, and then the one up here. So they pretty much, all of them have to line up at the same time before you push it back. If you push the back ones first, you can't push this one forward. And that's it. You know, it goes on there pretty easy, straightforward. And then just tying up your 8mm bolts right here. All right, so that's pretty much it. Recycle your box. And clean up all your tools. And then anything you need to clean up, I'm gonna get a little bit of wax and just clean up the front of my tailgate here. You know, I put some smudge grease marks in there, so I'll go ahead and clean that up. Obviously, you know, this is not something you technically have to do, but unless you're doing it for somebody else's vehicle, then, you know, make sure you clean it up and make sure it looks nice for that person. If it's your vehicle and you kind of always take care of that, then might as well go ahead and do it. Anyways, that is pretty much the install of that for you guys today. I hope you guys liked the video. So this is pretty much, you know, the end result here. You unlock your tailgate and it just drops easily instead of just, you know, I did notice a few more times that I'm doing this, it is getting a little bit softer towards the end. Probably that little shock, you know, starts getting pressure kind of build up. At first it looked like at the end it was dropping a little bit harder here, but you know, overall it's still not dropping like it would drop if you didn't have little strut. So, you know, pretty slow. I mean, if you don't have a hand to hold it or anything, it's pretty good. It's definitely not gonna, you know, it's gonna make it easier for your tailgate to go down. Hope you guys liked the video. You know, this is real life installing it. I got the wrong part. I did get it from the Ford dealer, so I don't know what happened with that other one. But you can find it on Amazon, a little bit cheaper than them. So keep that in mind and just check that before you install it. I should have done that myself. But other than that, thank you for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next one.